Stipe Miocic has a real chance of winning this fight against Jon Jones. He's the same size of Jon Jones, and Jon Jones struggles against people his size. This is just facts, bro. If you look at not only people his size, but people his size that can throw the hands. You know, Dominic Reyes gave Jon Jones big problems at light heavyweight. Alexander Gustafsson gave Jon Jones big problems at light heavyweight in the first fight, anyways. Jon Jones has made a career off of using his, size, his reach. He's not really going to have that against Stipe. It's kind of even. As you can see here, they're about the same height. You know what I mean? I'm sure John still has a bit of a longer reach, but it's not going to be anything where he could like put his hand on the guy's head and hold them at bay the way he's been able to do to a lot of people. And what happens if Stipe gets back up from the takedown? What happens if Jon Jones takes down Stipe and Stipe is able to get back up? Because he is a bigger guy, he is a bigger guy. And Jon Jones, maybe, I don't know, maybe he's not used to holding down bigger guys. I know he's been training at heavyweight. I'm sure he's held down big guys and stuff like that. But I do remember his injury, to which Daniel Cormier said, I can cite Daniel Cormier for this. Daniel Cormier said he's not used to rolling and going with these bigger guys, and that's why he got hurt. And if you watch the clip, I even have a video on my platform saying that same thing. When you analyze the footage, he was in a 50-50 position, and he tried to almost win with force. He tried to push the guy over, outstrength him. However, John, you're not a natural heavyweight. You're going up against natural heavyweights. So, you know, you lost the strength battle and you pulled your pec muscle. It's just one of those things. So the question is, are you underestimating Stipe? Are we as a collective underestimating Stipe? I don't think I am. I think I've maintained that Stipe can get the job done. Stipe's not someone to be counted out. Stipe's someone who, okay, he took 4 years off from the sport, but what does that matter? Like, Dominic Cruz has had long layoffs, came back and looked great. George St. Pierre has had long layoffs, came back and looked great. Many people in this sport have had layoffs, came back and looked great. It's not unfathomable to conceive the idea that Stipe, who, mind you, he got knocked out. What's the best thing to do after a knockout? It's to take time off. It's not crazy to think that that 4 years did him justice. 4 years away from the sport, you know, it also refuels your love for the sport. You know what I'm saying? It refuels your passion for the sport. When you're doing something all the time, it could become a grind, but when you take a step away from it, you begin to miss it. That could be the case here too. Mental refreshing, you know what I mean? Refreshing the mind. It's a fight and anything could happen, and Stipe's got hands. He does. He's got power in his hands as well. Stipe could crack Jon Jones. And I'm just going to say this. I think Jon Jones could be setting himself up for a Ronda Rousey-esque fall from grace. I did not like the way he didn't shake Stipe's hand, and I don't like the way he has been creating animosity in his head. Like when Stipe called him a bitch on the press conference, he didn't even really call him that. He was saying the word in as like a throwaway word, like, all right, let's do it. You know what I mean? But John said what he said, which was, oh, I'm gonna beat him, whatever, stuff like that. It's like he's not really calling you as a man that word. You get me? John then also taking what he said about my kids will never look at me like this as a dig to him. I see how he could maybe think that, but I also feel like you're reaching at that point. I feel like that's an insecurity, and that's why you feel that way. You know what I mean? Um, Stipe is allowed to say, I want to be a good example for my kids. You know what I mean? He's allowed to want to do that, I think. And while John is getting himself worked up in the circus, right? He's got MMA Guru out there making clips on him, which is another thing, guys. This is another thing that I want to pay attention to because, in my opinion, MMA Guru and his videos had an effect on the Israel Adesanya fight 100% against Sean Strickland, 100%. And MMA Guru's videos had an effect on uh, Ian Gary, right? Ian Gary had to pull out of a fight because of all the negativity he was getting. He was getting so much negative energy pointed at him that he felt ill. Like when Goku does the spirit bomb, give me your energy, and everyone gives them their positive energy. It works both ways, man. If everyone is positive towards you, you're gonna feel great. But if everyone's negative towards you, and you're this, right? You're gonna feel that. You're going to feel that, and I think John could be feeling it. He might be. I haven't seen enough to say, oh yeah, he's rattled. I really haven't. I think John has stood 10 toes down for the most part, and he's leaned into it. But I think he might be leaning too far into it. Again, the stuff where he's not shaking Stipe's hand and making false things like, oh, he called me this word, and he said he's bringing up my kids. Those things make me think, I don't know. I don't know, because now you're operating from that Ronda like place, you know what I mean? If this was a yin and a yang, you're operating from that bad faith part, the dark part, and not, good intentions, just being you. You're fabricating things. You're creating animosity where there isn't. Meanwhile, Stipe is he's just here for a fight, man. He's blue collar dude, just here for a fight. So I don't know. Crazy things have happened in the sport. The sport goes further than just the punches and the kicks. It's not just the punches and the kicks, guys. There's more to it. Who knows? So that's the deal. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, whether you agree, disagree. It does not matter. Just join the discussion, follow for more, and leave a like if you enjoyed the time spent. Thank you. You are all appreciated.